Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Goal Side. Almost half of the population of the world considers themselves to be associated with football. The sport, which is popularly known as the beautiful game, carries hopes and dreams of millions of aspiring sportsmen on its back. The world of football. On the one hand, it seems to give us phenomenal players like Leo Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Diego Maradona. But on the other, it's the most unforgiving game in the world. Every sportsman has to work hard to earn a spot in the legacy. If you take things for granted, football will have no remorse moving on and forgetting you. Football over the course of time have given us many formidable talents, players who are considered to be the best of the best. But unfortunately, no one remembers them, and if some players are remembered, they are only remembered because of their downfalls. Let's take a look at a few players who took the game by storm, but unfortunately fell off the grid at the same pace. The most prominent figure that comes to mind is Ronaldinho Gaucho. Who doesn't remember that work of beauty? The Brazilian was so good with the ball that his dribbling was considered a work of art. He was born in a family of footballers and honed his skills from a very young age. Ronaldinho made his mark on the world when he won the FIFA World Cup with the Brazilian national team. Later, he was called to play for the French giants PSG. From there, he went on to play for his dream club, FC Barcelona. Ronaldinho in his 5 seasons for Barcelona gathered every accolade there was, from winning the UEFA Champions League to winning the Ballon d'Or. But with fame, money, and wins came his insane partying problems. The Brazilian made it to the news when he was caught coming out of a club in the morning, drunk. The situation even got worse when he got involved in substance abuse and started missing his practice sessions. Barcelona's manager Pep Guardiola wasn't ready to work with him in these conditions, so the club had to let him go. Ronaldinho then moved to AC Milan, where he failed to work his magic for 2 straight seasons. With worsening partying situations, the Brazilian's downfall began. His habits had a huge impact on his physical and mental conditions, affecting his game on the field. He moved from club to club, with his career eventually fading away into nothing. The decline of Ronaldinho hasn't surprised me. His physical condition has always been very precarious. His talent, though, has never been in question. Ronaldinho was a player with such caliber that he could have been the greatest football player of all time. His destroying his own career left the football world with one thought: what if he had worked harder? Not only Ronaldinho, but thousands of footballers around the world followed the same steps in destroying their careers. Take another example of this party-hyped Brazilian, Adriano. The man had the potential to become one of the greatest strikers in the early 2000s. He had everything: a good understanding of the game, pace, and build, but party life got the best of this Inter Milan player. Many times Adriano showed up to practice completely hungover, and this wasn't even the worst of it. The striker was caught many a time creating a scene in the nightclubs and in destroying property. Eventually, the club had to let him go. Nowadays, he can be seen hanging out with gang members in the streets of Rio. When we talk about party-hyped football drunks, George Best is a man we can't miss. The Irishman, being a Manchester United start, was part of the Holy Trinity, along with Dennis Law and Sir Bobby Charlton. His addiction to alcohol and women not only destroyed the man's career, but also his entire life. He died because of a liver transplant rejection. Among footballers who destroyed their careers subjected to alcoholism and partying, many of them were involved in gambling as well. Arsenal star David Bentley was making highlights every game. Arsene Wenger had brought in a person who was finally giving the club some hope, but as his career progressed, so did his bad habits of gambling. The club let him go, leaving him with a rather unstable career. He retired at 29, blaming the world of what he had become. Another Arsenal star was Paul Merson, who was also involved in gambling, alcoholism, and substance abuse. The club tried to do its best for him, sending him to rehab for 3 months, but it wasn't enough. All these wonderful athletes were making highlights in the football world on the basis of their sheer talent. They had the potential to become the greatest of the greatest, but they allowed material things like partying to get in the way of the wonderful things they were supposed to do. This teaches us that in order to survive in this world, talent is not everything. Hard work and commitment are equally important. Take the example of Cristiano Ronaldo, a footballer who was supposed to peak at the age of 28, but the man still plays like a beast at 34. So far, he's scored 701 goals in total. One should try to stay committed to his goals, then and only then success will come. Everyone wants to be successful until they see what it actually takes. This has been Goal Side.